Good afternoon, Facebook. It's your boy Lance with the Crab Cartel. I'm coming at you with a brand new video. So today's video, we're going to talk about crab traps and building crab traps. I've been having a lot of people ask me a bunch of different questions about crab traps and building crab traps, assembling crab traps, the components, and what each thing does and what it works for. So first off, I'm going to break this crab trap down. I'm going to explain this crab trap right here to you. And I'm going to also make another video. It's going to be covering just the cost of each wire and about how much it takes to build a crab trap. But I'm going to show you the components of the crab trap. So first, when you look at the crab trap or crab pot, however you want to say it, you'll notice that I build crab traps that has 4 funnel entries. There's an entrance on each side, right? Then let's go to the front of the crab trap. Here is a hook. We call this the hook. And what you do is that hook basically latches down here and keeps the crab trap closed. It don't have to be closed with great force. It just has to be hooked, you know, just to bring the 2 wires. When you're shaking the crab trap and taking the crabs out, basically you just hook that hook to the side. You pull it like this, and you turn and you dump the crabs out. Right? Dump them out like that. Hook the crab trap. Alright. Next thing you have on the crab trap is you have coil rings, what we call coil rings. What the coil rings does is they basically coil the trap. So all the small crabs, small fish, anything that gets in the trap to eat the bait can get out through the coil ring. That eliminates a lot of bycatch, a lot of small crabs, things that you don't want. It eliminates a lot of fish death, and it prevents you from having a coil through when you dump out your traps, take all the small crabs out. You're still going to get some small crabs in the trap, but this prevents you from having too many. The thing we have on the crab trap is the bait well. The bait well is the only other part of the trap that's made from a different style of wire in the bait well door. So this bait well is made by, we use 1/2 by 1/2. And it's basically a smaller grid trap, basically lets the bait stay in longer. So use the same 1/2 by 1/2 to make the bait well door. And we take the bungee, the same bungee that we use on the hook. We use that to make the bait well door a open and closed flap. Next thing, which is really important, is on your hook, you have to have a biodegradable peg. Get closer to it. You have to have this biodegradable peg right here. And what this does is, if this trap is lost and there's crab in here, over time, this biodegradable peg will degrade and dissolve. It takes time, but it'll dissolve, and that way the hook will break off and it'll allow the trap to come open. That way helps what's in there escape. Next thing, of course, if you're just building traps to sell it, you ain't got to worry about the next few things I'm finna show you. But I'm gonna still explain them anyways. Commercial guys, we put zinc on our traps. And what the zinc does is that basically prevents the trap from rusting. It helps save the life of the crab trap. So instead of through electrolysis and all, I ain't gonna get too scientific, but it's a lesser metal than the actual crab trap. So this will dissolve and rust away before the crab trap does. That helps the crab trap last longer. At the bottom of the crab trap here, we put rebar on it. This basically allows the trap to sit flush to the bottom of the river, bottom of wherever you're crabbing at. Each trap has to have a trap tag, which you can see that's tag 143. Each trap has to have that trap tag if you're a commercial guy, and that tag has crab license on it, license number and everything on that. Of course, your float has to be your color, which is mine is orange and yellow, like I always say. And your number has to be which I'm not going to show my number. The number, your trap number has to be engraved into each float. So each one of these floats behind me has to have my trap number engraved. And that's 20 traps, you can see. Here's an older trap. I took this trap out of the water yesterday because the rebar on this, I meant the zip ties on this trap was broken off, and it was flapping around. So I brought it in just to put more rebar on it. This trap probably is about 2 years old, but you can see it still looks good. Here's the zinc. See, that zinc looks a little looks a little worn off than what a used zinc would look like. All right. What else here? Let me see. What else? Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. The rope has to be basically whatever size you want, whatever depth you're fishing in, you can put your rope. I usually put my rope generally standard about 20 feet, 20 to 25 feet. I really don't try to crab in nothing deeper than that. So that's the crab trap. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna make 2 videos. I'm gonna keep this simple. I'm gonna go into kind of cost and what it costs you to build one of these crab traps. All right, so this style wire, the green wire, it's a 1/2 by 1/2 wire. This trap is a 12 mesh trap. This is, I'm not 1/2 by 1/2, this is 1.5 by 1.5 by 24 by 60. So the 1.5 is each square here, and 24 is the width, and 60 is the feet. All right, this wire costs $152 a roll. $152 a roll. From the buyer that I use, which is W.A. Davison in Jacksonville, Florida, that roll, if you buy 10 or more rolls, the price drops to $145 a roll. So it pays a little bit to buy more than 2 or 3 rolls at a time. You get a better deal if you buy 10 rolls. So with this green wire, when you build traps, if you bought the rolls in bulk, you're gonna spend $16.11 just on the green wire per trap. If you bought just a couple rolls, you're gonna spend $16.88 per trap. All right, so then you go to the bait well wire. The bait well wire is, like I said, 1/2 by 1/2 wire. With the bait well wire, it's $140 a roll. And I think you get about 75 bait wells out of a roll, which comes up to $1.86 a trap. That's what you got in bait well. And I'm sorry, you get 9 traps out of the 1.5 by 1.5 mesh. All right, each coil ring here costs us 22 cents. There's 3 coil rings per trap, mandatory by FWC in Florida, mandatory. So you're gonna have 66 cents in just coil rings. Then you go to the power cord, and this is like a rough estimate. The power cord, the roll I bought was $11, so that gives me, I estimate, about 22 cents in the power cord. The hook's 22 cents, right? I didn't put the price for the little wooden peg here, because I buy those out of Home Depot, a long stick, and I just cut them to the size that I want. I think the sticks were like $1.40 some cents a piece, and you probably cut about 15 sticks out of each trap, 15 pegs out of each stick. All right, so with just the trap, if you're building to sell with just the trap, that comes up, regular price, that comes up to about $19.84 for a trap. If you're building in bulk, that comes up to about $19.07. All right, so when you're fully equipped in this trap out, when you add rope, float, and zinc, rebar, you're gonna put another you're gonna put another $11.56 to fully equip this trap. So that adds up. The 19 plus the $11 gives you a total of what you would build fully rigged out a trap. But if you're just building traps to sell just traps, then all you got to worry about is, I'm pretty sure you'll buy 10 rolls at a time. So you just worry about the bulk. So you'll be spending about $19.07 for you know, the bulk, the build trap if you bought in bulk. I'm gonna get the Hog Ring Gun and show you my Hog Ring Gun. That way you know what I use. So give me a minute. Go ahead and pause it. And when you start.
You start.
All right, so I'm back. Here is the Hog Ring Gun that I use. Nothing special. Got it off of Amazon. This is probably one of the cheaper ones. And I know some trap building guys are gonna be like, oh, that's a piece of crap. Well, it gets the job done. And you know, I'm not that deep into it yet. And at the time, I couldn't afford to go spend $600 for a Hog Ring Gun. I found this one on Amazon. It was like $199. Does the job, and I don't have any complaints about it. It's called a Jitterbug pneumatic tool, made in America. So it's made in America for you people who really care about where your stuff is made at. All right. So this is the Hog Ring Gun. You load the Hog Ring Gun like this, right here. These are the hog rings. These are the hog rings. They come in strips like this. 5/16 C rings, 1/2 inch. They'll have that scratched in, so you know you're getting that. That's the ones you get. Half inch C rings. You load them like this. You put the strip here, pull that back, and now it's loaded. This works with an air compressor. Doesn't really matter what kind of air compressor you get, as long as you get one that's strong enough. I would recommend 150 psi better. This is only a 6-gallon tank, porta cable. It's a piece of crap. Just something I had around when I was doing construction work and stuff like that. Not AC work, but when I was doing construction work, working for apartment complexes, I had this one already, and this is the one I've been using. But it's a piece of junk. Really doesn't matter. It's a porta cable. Really doesn't matter what kind you get. If you're somebody new starting off, I just recommend you get, you know, something that's affordable that'll get the job done. When you start making money, then you can start spending more money into expensive equipment. But I'm a person that just wants to get the job done, and whatever gets the job done, that's what I use. Zip ties. If you're a crabber, you'll know zip ties are your best friend. This was what we used to put on our rebar. I think I use 10 per trap. 2 in each corner. One to hold my PVC on, and 2 in each corner. But that's pretty much it, man. I know some people have questions on how much it costs and different things like that. But yeah, just leave your questions in the comment, and I'll try to get to you, and I'll try to answer as questions as I can. There's no stupid question. I'm not here to belittle anybody. I'm all for self-sufficient, being your own boss, and not just black-owned business, but I'm all for being your own boss, whether you white, black. It doesn't really matter to me, man. Just go for it. If you wanna do something and be your own boss, just go ahead and go at it. But I've been doing this for about 3 years. I've been going steady on my own for about a year. I had a buddy that showed me everything I know. Great guy. Basically took me under his wing, showed me how to build these traps, showed me where the crab at, told me everything I need. Every time I got a question, I call him. He'll answer my questions, and that's real important for anybody who's trying to do something. If you got somebody that'll answer your questions. And if you want to learn something, you know, you talk to somebody that's doing it. You know, if you want to do something, what Ply said in one of his songs, if you want to do something, you hang around people doing something. If you don't want to be nothing, then you hang around people that ain't doing nothing. So, yeah, just hit me up, man. Comment, like, share. If you got any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer them. Y'all just take care. See you next time.